Hey, Professor Homa here. One of the last things I'm going to do here is just put a little border and a little drop shadow on the body part of the page. That should be real quick to do, and then all that we'll have to do is upload it. So we're almost done with the CSS for this. And again, it's a lot of stuff, not new stuff with CSS, but once you get the habit, it's actually kind of fun. So one of the things I'm going to do here is put a drop shadow on it. It's called a box shadow. And I'll show you a little shortcut. And this is going to be with CSS. So I'm going to go to my CSS file. And this is actually going to be for the body. So I'm going to have to scroll up here, and this is going to be in the body. So I'm going to put something here, and there's something called box shadow. And it's kind of, here's box shadow, and it's kind of a little confusing. So who wants confusing? Let's just go to the web, and let's go to Blackboard. And let me go to our links and resources. And under Tools at the bottom, I have a little place where we actually go to the CSS-matic generator. And if you actually just searched for box shadow generator, you'd find this. But I'm going to go here to this box shadow generator. And I'm just going to be lazy here because I don't feel like typing all this code. Look at all this. I don't want to type all that. They're bound to screw that up. But what you can do here on this little box, make sure it's on box shadow. And the color is just to see how it looks. So if you want to see how it looks, you could change it to white. But what we're focusing on is this thing, the drop shadow. And that's what's here right now. And that's hard. Now it's on kind of a darker gray. I think you could change that somewhere, but I'll keep it there for now. But well, I don't want it this dark, but about this size is probably okay. Right now it's set for horizontal length is 10. You can see what happens. It'll move over that way. I just want 10 is fine. So 10, 10 is fine for, it goes over to the right horizontal and it goes down vertical. 10, 10, that's what that is. Blur radius, I like to put that up around 10. That'll make it a little softer. I want to soften that drop shadow up just a little bit. Obviously, if it was on something smaller, I wouldn't want as much of a blur. But if it's on for my whole body of my page, I could have a little bigger blur. So 10 is fine. Spread, you don't really want to mess with. That makes it harsher. I don't really, even like in Photoshop with that I'll put that back to 0. I don't need anything there. And here's one I do like to change. I like to take the color. It says color, but it's really the alpha. And I'm going to put that down to maybe 0.4, something really low. I'll take it all the way down to 0.4. What that does is it turns down the alpha. It makes it more transparent. So I don't want it at 0.75. I just want it nice and light. Okay, so that makes all those settings. And what I'm going to do is you can copy it here, or you could just do copy text, whichever one. And I'm going to go back to brackets, and I'm going to put it under my body section. And I'm going to highlight this whole thing here because it's going to replace this. So I'll paste it here. And I'm going to tab this in so it looks nice. But this is what I was starting to do, box shadow. And you can see all these things, 10, 10, 10, 0, all that kind of stuff. And then RGBA, where it's doing the RGBs, and then the 0.4. It's a lot of stuff to remember. It's a lot easier to just copy and paste this. And if you need to change it, if you want it lighter, you could change that to 3. Or if you want it darker, you could change it to 0.5 or something. Or any of these you could change when they're in here. They're just hard to type in the beginning. And they also need these WebKit and Moz. These things are for Mozilla, it's for Safari and Chrome. It's kind of little prefixes that help for older versions of certain browsers. So Box Shadow, this is the main one, but it uses these other ones just so that it works on older browsers. And in some cases, I know in some cases it doesn't work at all on Internet Explorer. So don't even, on older versions of Internet Explorer, I don't think it'll even work well. So that's just something we'll have to deal with when we get into IE kind of stuff. But anyway, that should make a nice little drop shadow on our page, I think. So I'm going to do Command S, and I'm going to refresh it. And there it is. Nice little drop shadow. Looks nice. Perfect. I can make it lighter if I want, or I can just leave it the way it is. That's fine. But I may put just a little, I don't even think I need it, but I'll just show you how to do it. I'm going to put a little border on here, and I'll also show you a little cheat to put a border on here. I'll go to brackets, and this would be for body, and I'd go down here and I'd put border, and it'll help you with some things, bottom style and all this kind of stuff. But if you're not familiar with border, this is what I'd recommend. Go to W3 School. Go to How To, go to this offside, go to CSS, and go down to Border. And it tells you right away. When you go to Border, there's all kinds of stuff about border, all kinds of definitions. But go down here to the bottom, and go down to the border shorthand property. I like this one because you put all the stuff for the border in it right away. It just says border, and then it does the weight, the thickness, the style and the color. So you're going to put, so we're going to do it 1 pixel solid black or 0, 0, 0. So that's what we're going to do. And if you want, you could color this. You could copy this if you want. Save us some typing, and I'll go back to brackets, and I'll paste it here. Okay, and I don't want it 5 pixel. That'll be really thick. I'll put it 1 pixel. I want it solid. Most of the time you want it solid. And you could type black here, or you could just do 0, 0, 0. And if you're not sure what that is, right click on it and do quick edit, and you can see it's black. That's it. That should put a little black border. You can even go smaller than that. You could do 0.5. But I'm going to do that. I'll save it. I'll come over to my window here and I'll refresh. Now you see I have a little thin border there. Okay, so almost we're done pretty much with everything, I think, with our CSS. Everything's pretty much done here. We have one last, we could do our links here. One last thing is I'll do my links and then we'll upload it, and I'll save that for another video.